Buddies, I'm back. Another midnight movie. Well, it's a midnight video, but no masala, no spice in this video. But in this video, I'm going to be speaking about a question that I have been asked a million times. That is, are action cameras like GoPros, SJ cams, etc., are they legal in India, or are they in general legal? Now, when I started using action cameras back in 2013, very few people owned action cameras. The reason could be because number one, they were very expensive because we only had GoPros, we did not have other brands. And number two, not many people knew about motorcycle video logging and action camera usage, etc. So, but now in today's date, the number of people using action cameras is very high. Any event that I go to, motorcycle event, I see huge number of people having action cameras installed on their helmets. So now the answer for the question, that is it legal to use an action camera on your helmet or anywhere on your body? The answer is yes and also no. I mean, it is legal, but only to a certain extent or only for a certain reason. Now, what is that? Let us start discussing about it without wasting any time. Now, understand, anything that you do back home in private property, if you're filming something, it is fine. It's up to you because it is your private property. But when you step out of your home or your farm or anywhere, the moment you get onto public space, you are under the jurisdiction of the local police and also the laws of privacy. So in general, I don't care about reading the law book, friends. Whenever there is a question about something being legal or not, I put myself into the place of others who are getting affected directly or indirectly, and I think about the ethics and think about the other factors and then do it. Now, when it comes to action camera usage, especially when it comes to motorcycle video logging, we put on the action camera and we get onto the road, and these cameras have huge wide angle. They are 170-degree wide angle. It captures everything on the road that is in front of you, on the sides of you. So mounting an action camera on a helmet is not illegal. It is absolutely fine. But is it safe? This is another factor that you have to understand, because when you mount a camera onto your helmet, in case you mount it onto the side and you have an unfortunate fall, then what can happen? The helmet can get twisted and it can twist your neck, because the helmet is not designed for an external camera to be mounted. So when something is on the side and you hit your head onto the tarmac, then your head would be fine, but it'll twist your neck. So be very careful about that. And in case you have it on the top or in the front, and if you fall and hit your face onto the front, still it would not be fine, because helmets are designed in a way to take the impact when they fall, and any foreign object that has been attached to a helmet compromises the safety of the helmet to a large extent. So remember that. And about safety, it's not only about your neck getting twisted because of the side mount or because of the front mount, but what happens is that when a helmet hits the surface, in case of an unfortunate event of a fall, then the helmet is designed to distribute the force of impact in a specific manner, according to science, according to design. But when we stick a GoPro mount or an SJ cam mount or any mount onto your helmet, then it is concentrated. Like, say for example, this is the helmet surface, and if the mount is here, then if say unfortunately you fall at 120 kilometers an hour, and the force that gets onto this mount would just get concentrated on a small area, which is like 1 square inch or something. So because of that, the helmet can crack and the mount can actually go inside. Now, I heard something, I read somewhere, I'm not very sure, but this is what happened to Michael Schumacher when he was skiing. You all know, right? Michael Schumacher, when he was skiing, he had a helmet on, and unfortunately he went and hit a huge rock, and his helmet cracked open and his head got extremely injured. So how did that happen? I mean, Michael Schumacher wouldn't be wearing a cheap helmet, right? What I heard about is that he had a helmet, a mount, a GoPro mount on the top, and when he hit a rock, that mount's pressure was focused onto a small area and it cracked open the helmet, and that ended up hitting his head. So now I'm not very sure about this, but I only read about this. But scientifically, yes, that is possible. That can happen. Now, when you get onto the road, you have to think about others' privacy. Now, you're making a video, which is cool, but are others interested to be in a video? That is just for a small example. Now, when you're riding a motorcycle and you look at a lady and say, wow, she's got a nice ass, and put that onto your video, is that cool? It's definitely not cool. Because number one, remember that these kind of comments are not appreciated, because put yourself into the shoe of that person. Would you want to be featured on someone else's channel on World Wide Web with that kind of a comment? Absolutely no. If that person happens to be a friend, you can take the person's consent and you can do it. But in this situation, doing that to a stranger is absolutely no. And this doesn't apply only to women, also to men. Now, some person could be on the road and wearing a funny shirt or whatever, and you look at that person and kind of pass comments which are insulting, then it's absolutely not appreciated. Now, what would happen? Remember, this person whom you are filming, if their friends or they themselves happen to watch your video, then they can not just pull down the video by reporting it to YouTube, but they can also send you a legal notice because you have featured them on your video without their written consent. Remember that. And second thing, you cannot film any security agencies. Now, security agency could also be a police station or anything, a military area or any of these security, high security places. You can't film them. So, I mean, no one would generally question you, but in case they wish to, they can send you a legal notice or even stop you right there and then and ask you to delete that footage. And also remember one more thing, if you are filming someone, just a general person on the road, even they can ask you to stop and say that you just filmed me, I noticed that and I don't appreciate that, and they can ask you to delete that footage. They have the right to do so. So remember that. And when it comes to police, police can stop you and they can ask you they can ask you the reason behind attaching cameras onto your helmet. Now, don't panic, remain calm, and do not tell them that you have a YouTube channel, so I upload videos on YouTube channel. They are not going to understand any of that crap. All right. So one of the best things to do is when cops pull you over and ask you, why do you have a camera attached to your helmet or a chest mount or anything? Just tell them one thing, that this is to save myself when it comes to legal implications in case of an accident. A dash cam in a car, a dash camera in a car, we all know what is a dash camera, right? A camera something like it's very similar to an action camera would be mounted onto the dashboard of the car, and it will keep recording non-stop for long hours. And in case, in an unfortunate event, if you meet with an accident, you can use this footage and show it in the court of law just for a reference point that you were not completely at the fault the accident did not happen only because of you. So the same thing is applicable when it comes to riding a motorcycle. Now just tell the cops that this is very similar to a dash camera. I have attached this camera because in case on the road, in an unfortunate event, I meet with an accident, then I can use this footage in the court of law for reference. Do not tell anything else. Don't speak about YouTube channels and all that, because see, remember again, YouTube channel is a commercial thing. So if you're doing commercial filming, you need filming permissions. Yes. Now, for example, if you are a tourist, you go anywhere, all right, you hold a camera, and if you are shooting, filming the area for personal reasons, you don't need filming permissions from the local authorities. But if you are making a movie or anything, an ad film, you need permissions from local authorities, because you would have to pay a filming fee and take permissions. So YouTube channel is a commercial channel. Even if you're making money or not, it is still a commercial channel. So if you say you are filming it for YouTube purpose, then you would need filming permissions. So remember that. And so friends, I talked about ethics, I talked about social responsibility of not filming people without their consent, I talked about safety, and I talked about how to answer the cops. So that is the thing, the answer is yes and no. But forget about the law, only remember one thing. Even if you end up filming someone on the road, especially women, or men, anyone, both are equals, men and women, both are equals. So if you don't wish to get into trouble in the future with your video, just blur their face and then you can say what you want probably. And another thing about privacy you got to keep on your mind, which would not in general cause an issue, but it can if someone wants to make an issue out of it. That is, when we are on the road and we are talking about something specific, like for example, if you're showing a car and saying that this car person was driving fast or rash, and we show the license plate of that person's car or motorcycle on your video, on your channel, then that person can file a case of invasion of privacy, because see, you can go to the police and inform, and police can take a legal action against that person for overspeeding or rash driving or whatever. But you cannot take law into your own hands by putting it on World Wide Web. So you got to remember this. What you can do is you can blur out that license plate and then talk about the issue. So remember that, friends. So that is it, friends. If you have any questions, do let me know. And thanks for watching my videos. And if you're not subscribed to me, you're missing out on well over 550 videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.